So you're looking for a routine for creating your YouTube videos. As someone who runs multiple YouTube channels with daily videos, I have developed quite a little routine for myself to save a lot of time, effort, energy, and stress when I'm creating my content. Let's dive in. First thing I do is plan my content, and I like to plan anywhere from a week to several weeks at a time. Now I don't go too far out because the majority of my content is actually dependent on the industry and what's happening right now. So I do breaking news, which means I am planning evergreen content, and then if I need to bump that evergreen content by a week or 2 weeks, I'm able to do that in favor of things that are going to be more time sensitive that I need to get out first. Now, I do like to plan as much as possible in advance because this allows me to create bingeable content so people can sit there and go through video after video after video. So when I know what my topic is, I can create those spin-offs that I can then implement into my strategy. Now, I create daily content, so I am using a calendar to create this. I use Google Calendar, but you can use whatever works for you, and I like to color coordinate things so I know this is on this topic, and this is for this show, and this is for my live stream, so that I know what I'm filming and when I'm doing it. And I like to make sure that I'm planning at least a week in advance so I'm ahead of the game. I do not ever like to film on the day or within a few days of it unless it's breaking news. So I always make sure that I have it planned out in advance far enough that I can then create that at a earlier time so that I don't have to worry about it in the moment or have to worry about tech glitches or anything like that. So I'll plan my content on the daily, and with my channel I actually do different topics on different days, so I am planning not only on the daily level for each week, but also on the weekly level to see what that topic's going to flow into for the next one. So for me on my channel, with this one, I am doing Instagram every single Monday and TikTok every single Tuesday, so I'm having content Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but they're going in tiers based on those weeks. So it's Instagram building on Instagram every week, and every day is a new topic inside of the industry that I speak on. So you need to come up with whatever schedule works for you and then plan that content in advance so you can then flow from one video to the next and give those calls to action inside of your videos as you're recording so people know to stick around, hit the subscribe and notification bell, and then be able to get those calls to action out there so people will continue to watch the videos. Once I have everything scheduled, I then create a time to film, and I like to batch create my content because it allows me to set up my lights one time, to get ready with hair and makeup one time. I can just switch outfits in between, and I'm already in the flow for when I'm speaking, because we know it takes forever to make sure you're not stumbling over your words or you're not struggling with what you're saying. So this absolutely makes it easier for you to be able to just film very, very quickly and save yourself a lot of time. Now I'll batch content create anywhere from 2 or 3 videos to a full month of videos depending on what I'm doing. And I'm looking for things that are going to make it easiest for me. So I just mentioned on Mondays I talk about Instagram content. So maybe I've got Instagram content that flows from one to the next to the next. I could do my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday content, or I could just do all of the month's Instagram Monday posts at the same time. So it depends on what's going to flow best for me. Is it going to be better to get that week done and out of the way, or is it going to be better to do the flow if I have that bingeable content that goes from one to the next with spin-offs? And it's going to vary every single time I'm creating my content. So I'm just looking for the best procedure for moving through my content to make it easier on me mentally as I'm speaking. So I will batch create my content, which means I just have to set up all of my technology, all of my gear, get ready once, and then I can start filming. Now with that in mind, I keep my calendar on my computer. It's actually across the room right now, and in between each one that I'm speaking on, I have the ability to go check to see what I'm going to be filming next. But let me break this down a little more. So as I'm starting to batch create my content, I am referring back to my calendar in between each one to know what topic is coming next. I'm making sure that I am then checking my notes inside of my calendar. So with me, I have a space in Google Calendars where I can actually leave notes, and I will do a bullet point of what I'm going to be talking about during each individual video. These bullet points include talking points and calls to action and any reminders that I'm going to need to call out a freebie I'm giving away, or a video I want them to go visit, or what's coming up next. So I leave those notes for myself so that I know what I'm going to be doing before I jump into that video, and I'll review it before I walk over here to actually film. Now if I do have multiple talking points that I want to make sure I'm covering and covering in sections, I'm actually going to be putting them on a note in my phone. So I have a Mac and I've got an iPhone, and those are connected. So I can pull up my note system on my computer, type in my notes or copy and paste them from my calendar, and have them in the notes on my phone. I then use an extra tripod and I put my phone over near my camera or one of my ring lights, and then I film one section at a time, which we talk about how to do here on the channel. You can check out those videos down below on how I film these things in sections to make sure I'm saving time and effort. And then I'm just referring back to it as I am going from one section to the next, so I know what's coming next. Now, to save some time and effort while I am creating these videos, I'm filming them in one single take. And that doesn't mean that I am filming direct to camera and I get my words right all the time. That's not it at all. What I mean is that I am filming it without starting and stopping the camera between every section of the video. This gives me one long video with some pauses in between, and yes, there will be some mess ups and some errors in there, and then I can just take that one file, and I know that one file is part of that one video. I don't have to go looking for 13 different clips and then guessing where it's going to end or where the next one's going to start. It's one solid video that I then have the ability to edit. So I will take it and I will film it in one solid take, and then I'll move it over to my computer when I'm done and have the ability to go look for those pauses and edit it. From there, I can do the color correction, which saves me a lot of time and effort, but I am using it in one single take. Now, as I'm doing this, I am stopping the camera in between different videos that I am going to be producing. So different topics, different videos will have different files. And in between those takes, I am doing my thumbnails. So right now I am dressed in this outfit. When I finished filming this video, I'm actually going to hit the stop button. I am going to sync my Canon camera to my Canon Connect app, which I have a video on how to do down below. And that is going to allow me to pose for my thumbnails. Now, after I'm done posing for this thumbnail, I know I'm gonna film another video, which means I'm gonna go change my outfit and I'm gonna come back and do the thumbnail for that video because I'm already connected to my phone. So I already have all the settings set up. I'm just going to take the thumbnail for that second video, and then I'm going to switch over and do the filming part of that video. At that point, I am saving time because it's not filming thumbnail, it's filming thumbnail, filming. And then for the third video, I'll film and then do the thumbnail after and switch into thumbnail 4 before going into that video. So I'm saving time by leaving the settings where they are for as long as possible before I have to switch. So I just kind of go back and forth and make sure that I'm not forgetting those thumbnail photos, because then I can easily import them, edit them, and create my thumbnail for my video. Once I finish filming, I now enact my editing routine. So I will shut down my studio, which means I turn off all of my lights, I'll turn off the camera, I will remove it from the tripod, and I'll go over to my desk. First thing I do is open up my camera, I will take out my SD card and I'll pop it into my card reader and I'll start that transfer. While my camera is also open, I'll remove the battery and I'll put it into the battery charger. I have extra batteries that I put back into my camera should I need to jump in and film anything else, but if I've just used my camera for a prolonged period of time, I want to make sure I'm repowering that battery so that I don't run out for my next filming engagement. Now at that point, I'm transferring my files, my photos, and my videos over to my computer, and as I am doing that, I'll do whatever else I need to. So if I need to grab a drink of water, or if I need to change my outfit, I'll do that. Then, once it has completed, I will pull up my video editing program. You know I love to use Adobe Rush. I've got tutorials here on the channel on how to do that, and I will drag the first one into it. And yes, I actively try to edit these videos as soon as I'm done filming them, because I'm still in that mindset. I remember that I have to add in certain thumbnail graphics to show that I referred to a video, or I have to create certain overlays that I want to be putting on there. It allows me to save some time because I don't have to necessarily watch the entire video all the way through. Because I am aware of what I've said and how I said it, and I know what takes I'm going to be using, I have the ability to just go in and clip it, and if it's not something I have to add a ton of overlays to, or a ton of words, or show other things on, I actually don't have to listen to the entire thing again. So instead of watching that 19-minute video, I just check my transitions from one clip to the next to make sure that that has not cut off any words, or there's no gap of air that I accidentally missed, and make sure that the music lines up with it. So that's going to save me a ton of time and effort if I already know the video is going to be good and I just have to check those little transitions. If, however, I know I need to add things in, I can then create those very quickly, especially while I'm waiting for things to transfer or other things to happen. So I pull in that very first file and I am going to go through it and edit it up. I'm going to raise up the audio on it. I'm going to add the music. I'm going to do any color corrections that I need. And like I said earlier, I actually color correct in one take because it's one singular file. I color correct before I clip it up, so I don't have to do things. So I'll color correct and I'll audio adjust to make sure everything is uniform as I'm creating this video. Now if I'm filming in different locations, the lighting may be a little bit off, so I will check each individual clip in case I have to raise or lower the highlights, the shadows, or whatever it happens to be to make it a little more uniform, but I then have the ability to move forward with that. Once I've edited that video, my next step is to export the video. And while it's exporting, because it usually takes a minute, I am then going into the photos I shot, grabbing my thumbnail image that I like, I'm gonna cut myself out, and then I'm going to create my thumbnail. Now, at that point, the video should be exported, and I can then automatically import that up on YouTube. And while that's happening, I'm finishing up my thumbnail. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to handle any caption things, any links that I have to add, anything that I just heard myself say or do inside of this video that then has to be inside of my caption. I do it now so I don't forget. And as I'm editing, if I remember or if I come across something that I'm going to need to remember, I'll make a note inside of my note on my Mac, and then I can just go back and check that. So at that point, while it is uploading to YouTube, I'm doing the manual work of getting that ready to go. As soon as I'm done with that, even if it's still uploading, I get everything ready, I get it scheduled, I'm good to go. I'll go back to my calendar, I will mark off on my calendar that it has been filmed and edited, and I'll remove all of those tags so that I know that it's done and I don't have to worry about it, and then I can start with the next video. In the past, I have tried to edit these videos well after the fact, days, weeks, months later, and it just doesn't work for me. I like being in the mindset, so I try to do it inside of my work window for creating those videos because it's easier. The flow is already there. I already know what I'm doing, and I'm not struggling to get back into it. It's very similar to filming videos. If you are starting your video filming, it takes a minute for you to process your words and to say things correctly, and once you get into the flow, it's much smoother. With editing, same thing. As long as you're in that mindset and in that work window of creating that video, it's going to be a lot easier process for you to then create that content. So then you have the ability to schedule it. Now, I like to schedule it at least the day before. I do not do things the day of, at least the day before, but you know, several days before is going to be better for me, and if I can do several weeks before, that's going to be great too, and I can just alter my timeline if I need to should something new come up. I very much like doing this so that I have that assurance, because on occasion you're going to have a thunderstorm and you're going to lose power, or your internet provider may be doing work in your backyard for days and days and days, and you have internet that just randomly pops out from time to time. Can you tell that it's happened to me recently? This is something that you want to make sure you're avoiding, or, you know, if your sister goes into labor early, or if something happens and your car breaks down and you're stranded, or whatever. Having that scheduled is definitely going to give you that peace of mind and the availability to then change it up later if you need to. Once I get through all of my content that I have planned and scheduled, and filmed, edited, and uploaded, I can then start the process again. So for me, this looks like a process that I go through again and again and again, and I try to do it about 2 or 3 weeks at a time so I know what's coming, so I know where I can be speaking into with my videos and giving those calls to action, but I like to plan out as long as possible. So if I have ideas, I am taking notes, I'm writing things down. I love those notes on my phone and on my computer that cross over from one device to the other because it allows me to very easily see what I'm thinking and plan things out. I can list my bullet points there, and then I can transfer those over to my Google Calendar where I can easily see where I'm going to be filming, what I'm going to be doing, and have all those notes included as well. This entire process has been highly effective for me, and I have honed this over many years of creating this, and I cannot imagine going back to a slower paced way of doing this. This is hyper productive for me and very easy for me to do. Now, it may take you a minute to actually figure out how to do this for yourself, but you can create a variation of this for you, color coordinate it, have it ready, test it out and see what works, and see how far in advance you want to go for your peace of mind as you're creating your content. If you've got ideas or if you have questions on my content strategy, go ahead and let me know down below. Hit the subscribe and notification bell for daily videos to help you level up on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, live streaming, and more, and we'll be sure to get those questions answered for you. I'll see you in the next episode.